So hello everyone, and this is a different video because normally there's an image of me, and I'm chatting about some controversial topic like the pandemic or government or politics, and then all of a sudden you get a video with watches in the title and in the video. And one of the things that I think I've mentioned in another video, that I am wanting this channel to be predominantly about business. As I've said a few times now, I'm a business consultant, and I'm hoping to impart some of my work experience on what I've learned throughout my work experience. Things about the world that we live in and how business fits in, and a larger sort of take on how the world works, but through the lens of business, through the lens of someone whose job has been to understand and work in business and do business. And so that as you know, the channel's called Luxmaster, and I actually work in the luxury good environment. Well, when I say I actually work, my work experience has mainly been, well, actually not mainly been, but it has been in, I have had a bit of focus. I say a bit. I've had quite a bit of focus in the luxury goods space. So, what that can mean is anything that's expensive and people pay a lot of money for. And but one of my own personal interests has been wristwatches, even to the point of I've just set up a watch business. Now, exactly what that will become, I don't know yet, but that is the plan. Anyway, I'm sort of rumbling on. But today what I thought I would do is chat about G-Shock. Now, I think I've posted a video about a G-Shock watch prior to this one. So, that if you've been to my channel and had a look through, you might have seen this peculiar short video about a G-Shock. Now, the G-Shock watches that I'm presenting here right now, these are all new watches, and I'm going to very quickly show you this watch. You can probably tell, I hope you can, that the design of these watches is all the same, and that's because they intentionally are all the same. But they do differ in the materials that have been used to perform them, and also the electronics inside and what the electronics do. Now, those of you who are watch enthusiasts, and in particular G-Shock enthusiasts, are going to know exactly what I'm presenting here in front of the camera. These are some of G-Shock's very premium, high-end. They're actually nicknamed the Square because the design is very square. But for example, this one is called the TFC Porter, and it was released a couple of years ago to celebrate the 35-year anniversary of the G-Shock Square, of the original version of this watch. And this watch has this engraved decorated case back with 35 years on it. And there's a little bit of history and a story to that, and hopefully I'll remember and I will come back. This is called the GW-5000. Now, the very, very first G-Shock Square was called the DW-5000. So this is the GW-5000. So this is the most modern iteration of a watch that was designed and built and released in 1983. So the design of this watch and these other two watches is actually 39, 40 years old. You are looking at a watch design that is 4 decades. And all these watches are new. Well, they were all made within the last 2 years, but these are all new examples now. And so I actually, for the geeks out there and for the guys that know what these watches are, the part number of this watch is GMW-B5000TFC-1. Now, the connoisseurs and the collectors will know that this watch doesn't actually come on a rubber strap, and the example I've got here does have a rubber strap. So perhaps I'll explain why it does in a moment. The next one here, this is called a GMW-B5000TR-9. What's significant about this watch is, as you can see, it's colourful and very different, but this is actually made out of titanium, and the Japanese have named this titanium Trantixi, and I think that was because they had this titanium alloy specially built for their needs and to create this watch. So this is called the Square Titanium Trantixi. This is called the 35-year anniversary Porter TFC, and this is the box standard GW-5000. 5000U, because it does have this is a very latest iteration of this model. Now, when I say box standard, the geeks you'll recognise straight away that it's actually not on a standard bracelet, but it does have. I mean, the bracelet is a Casio bracelet, and I forget a combi bracelet it's called. And so this iteration has this fancy bracelet. I think it looks better. And so that's why you might be thinking, hold on, there are two watches there that are non-standard, and that is true. This TFC has a rubber strap on it, where it normally comes with a metal strap, and perhaps I'll go and grab that. This is titanium, gold, and other colours, and this one is supposedly a more basic model, but actually it is still quite a fancy model. And I suppose what I should do is mention price, because actually I just have a cup of tea here, so in the background, without you, you might hear me drink a cup of tea, so I do apologise for that. I'm actually shooting this in literally a tea break. Now, so the watch that these models are based on. So once again, these are very new versions of a watch called a DW-5000, and that watch was released in 1983. And in fact, what I will do is post at the very beginning or the very end, or both, a picture of that very first original watch. In fact, I will do that because it'll make sense then. So the very first watch that looks a lot like these watches was released in 1983. So that means that this design is, as I've just said, 40 years old, and so that is an amazing thing. But these watches are all new, so these are the latest design iterations of a design that is 40 years old. Now, what each of these has in common with the original watch is that the original watch had a rubber case on the outside and a solid stainless case on the inside. Now, this is the same as that. It has a rubber case on the outside and a stainless steel case on the inside. Now, that was originally purely to make the watch strong and was the and to meet the design criteria of the original watch. And I don't know, did I mention at the beginning? The Japanese guy is called Kikuo Ibe, and it was his project. I think he asked Casio in 1981 if he could do some R&D on the possibility of creating a watch, and they allowed him to. And anyway, this is what he came up with, and it was supposed to be a watch that would last for 10 years on a single battery, and you could drop it 10 meters. And he wanted to create a watch, so this is his design. This is the design of the watch, of the very first watch that he created. And one of the key design examples, key design aspects of it was that it had a stainless steel body and a plastic outer part. Now, so this one shares that. It has a stainless steel case and a plastic outer part. So this is the most similar to the original. These other two that are inspired, and they look, they really do, I mean, it's the same design. These are metal stainless steel cases and metal stainless steel outer cases, the bezel. But this one is also all these models are, if you like, premium versions. You can get other designs of this watch that are not made with these premium materials. So these are all quite special, actually. So this one has a DLC coating. It's called a diamond-like coating, so it makes this very, very tough and resilient. And the whole watch is actually coated with this DLC diamond-like coating. The Trantixi, the titanium one here, this I think also has the same DLC level of treatment, but it's coloured. So I mean, this is really super special. Some people don't like it. It looks gaudy, but I think this watch, when it sells out, is going to be one of the most desirable and sought after and very expensive G-Shocks that collectors will be going mad for. So I think this is the one to look out for. Actually, this also is a very desirable and very collectible watch. Actually, at this point, I suppose I should mention prices, because that might put it into context, what we've got here. So the original metal cased epoxy resin plastic outer case, I think was about $100 when it first came out in 1983. And actually today there are very similar versions of it that are still, very affordable. And I think the price is about £135, around $150 for a watch that looks very similar. In fact, these watches look very similar to these, but they're made with cheaper materials, and the functionality isn't as great. And so this design, so there are watches brand new that are about $100 to $150 in the UK, £100 to £150, and that will get you a brand new square like this, but the materials are not as good. But the point I'm about to make is it'll become evident in a moment. So this is, if you like, on the cheaper end, but this is a premium version of what of the cheaper end, and I think this one is about £300. So the reason that you're paying more money for this one is that this one does have a solid stainless steel case, where the watches are around £150 have a resin case, but they do have a stainless steel back. But this one has a solid stainless steel case, and so this hits the £300, the $300 mark, something like that. Now, just to jump straight into it, this one, titanium, diamond light coated, titanium case, titanium bracelet, titanium bezel, and it's also very, very light. This retails for £1,500, about $1,600. So straight away, you've got a tenfold jump on this watch, from the cheap entry level watch that looks just like this today. So this is 10 times more. So this is so these are all premium, but this one is 300. This one is £300. This one is £1,500, about $1,600, and this one, actually, when it was released, it was a limited release, I think was £1,100, and you got this watch on a bracelet with a bag, a watch case made by Porter. That I think is a Japanese label, and they make premium bags, that sort of thing. So this was 1,100, or might have been 1,200. This one is in that ballpark, but 1,500, and this one is £300. And these are all premium versions of the watches that look just like this, that are £100, £150. But this one, in its original packaging with the original bag, and this normally comes with on a bracelet. Because it was a limited run when they were first launched, and you can't buy this anymore, this today has a second-hand value of, I've seen on eBay, for about £4,000. Now, a lot of people are going to go, what? How can this thing be worth £4,000? Well, I would say that £4,000 is probably the minimum that you're going to have to pay for this watch, because I've actually just found one on a website called Chrono24, and the asking price is £9,000. So what we're talking about here is a very niche interest, a very peculiar hobby, where this that looks like something that's £100 is made with a fancy case. The specifications of the materials are a bit higher. It originally retailed for about £1,000, £1,200, and because they're so limited in production, that forces up the second-hand market. And now you're going to have to pay £4,000 to get this watch in brand new condition, or almost new condition, in its original packaging and original Porter bag. And but saying that, I have seen one of these for sale for £9,000. So yes, these are very expensive G-Shocks, and they're collectors love them though. They do. They have a very solid fan base that have no problem spending £1,000 for these watches when they are released in limited quantities, and yeah, and they collect them. These really are very desirable objects. Now, what I haven't done today is mentioned their functions and what they do. There is quite a bit of technology in here. These two watches both have Bluetooth, and they connect to your smartphone. You can download an app, and you can operate the watch from your iPhone or your Android phone. They're also they use the sun. They're also solar powered. And they have a battery inside. That battery is rechargeable, so that these actually run off the sunshine. So you never have to replace the battery, that they just charge up as you wear them. This one doesn't have Bluetooth, but it has other functions the same as this. And Casio, over the years, have created this unusual, very detailed variants of everything, and it seems to work because Casio in this segment, they are the market leader by a long shot. In fact, there isn't really anybody else who is their competition. That they are the market leaders in this type of watch and this style of watch. So that's actually the premise of another video that I will make about the watch industry and what I think about G-Shock. And just to let you know now, I'm going to be talking about Rolex and G-Shock at the same time. So that is going to be, it is interesting. I find it very interesting. But because I'm on my tea break and the light is going, and I actually wanted to shoot this in natural light, but it's literally going. I can see that as I'm shooting it. I don't even think you're going to be able to see much. I won't do this justice. So I'm going to bring this video to an end, and I will come back. But today I wanted to film something very quickly and to share with you just a teaser of some of the content that I hope to be bringing, and not just watches, other products. But at that, I shall leave it there. And you G-Shock fans out there, I hope you've liked seeing this. I'm sure you will have done. And there will be more to come of this. And I hope again everyone's well, and I shall see you again.